God, are you there?
The voice of God is here.
How are you doing today, God?
The voice of God is good today. How are you?
Great.
That's good. This first question comes from LinkedIn. Service department is always putting things to their policy when it is a customer issue or an advisor didn't make proper notes and the vehicle comes back. This does include in marking down the parts to cost. Is this a normal practice, or am I just giving in to allow this to happen? Shouldn't it be a cost plus 10 to 15%? I've been told that they don't want to pay for the part twice, which is why this is being marked down to cost. Don't get me wrong, I'm a firm believer in making the customer happy for repeat business, but this is aggravating because it affects my CP per RO.
Chris, you want to handle this one? Or you want me to take it?
I'm dying. I have an opinion, but I'm dying to know yours.
Well, this is the proverbial story of the doctors who are on a rafting trip. And the doctors are by this beautiful river. They're around the campfire having breakfast, enjoying their coffee, when all of a sudden a body comes floating down the river. So the guys rush in, they pull the body out, and they start CPR, and they revive the body. And then 2 minutes later, another body comes down, and then another. And before you know it, it's like the ER. Like there's bodies on the shore. They're doing CPR, and these guys are working their tails off. Like they're sweating. They're like, man, we came out for vacation, not to work. All of a sudden, this one doctor in the middle of all this gets up and just walks away. And like his buddy's like, hey, George, where are you going? Get back here. Like, you got to help us save these bodies. And George says, nope, I'm going to go find the guy throwing the bodies in the river and stop this madness. And that's the same thing. The problem that you have here is it's not what management does with the comeback. It's not what they're selling the parts for. It's not what they're making you mark things down with. It's the fact that Service Advisor Error is creating this problem. So if you forget to write things on the ticket, or you rush, or you're worried about the CP number, and you're not genuinely concerned in taking care of the customer and documenting their concern properly, petting the dog right, writing the ticket up right the first time, you're creating this issue. And it doesn't matter what management does. The 10 or 15% markup is irrelevant if you do your job right in the beginning.
Yeah, I dropped the mic. That was great. I love that story.
Thank you.
It's perfect. You're focused on the wrong thing, basically.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, one thing about the story, too, that is a little incongruent is we're paying for the part twice. Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. I mean,
it would be under parts warranty.
That would be the parts department fault.
Yeah, that would be under parts warranty unless you're buying your parts from some backwoods. But if you're buying them from a parts department, they're going to be under warranty. So that part doesn't make sense. But I love your analogy. I agree 100%. The other thing I would say is whether you mark up policy and things you're writing off or you do it at cost, the net at the end of the day is the same. I agree. You're just raising your prices to charge yourself more. If you like seeing the bigger number, then that's fine. You could make a case that it's the true representation of what it is. You're going to sell it to yourself at retail and not at cost. But at the end of the day, your profit's the same. If you write it off, whether you write it off at cost or you write it off at the full amount, it's still coming out. You're not making any more money on the bottom line.
No, and Chris, I think the one thing, if you want massive CP numbers, what you have to do as an advisor is get more key throwers, right? And you have to turn the tide. Instead of your dealership losing 70 to 80% of your client base to the independent world, flip those numbers. Do something every day to be memorable, to be remarkable, and make customers want to stay with you as their trusted advisor so they come back, right? Let's flip the tide. If you had key throwers and you flip those tables, it doesn't matter what they do. Your CP numbers would skyrocket.
I agree. What's the next question, God?
This next question comes from Roger in Florida. Good morning, Chris and crew. I work at an extremely busy Toyota dealership in Southwest Florida.
Stop bragging, Roger.
Stop bragging, Roger. If I'm aggressive enough, I can easily clear 20 ROs a day. I've noticed that when I try to grab every car on the drive, my ELR suffers, but we are way too busy to spend an hour or more with each customer. I'm trying to find a balance of numbers of cars written per hour versus keeping my dollars per high. I finished last month at roughly $265 per copy, and am looking to increase that number. Thank you for your time. I look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Less is more? Is that what you're thinking, Jeremy?
Well, no, I'm thinking that you shouldn't have to spend an hour with each customer. I mean, what we teach with petting the dog isn't an hour walk around. You know, it's you got to get efficient.
but it's definitely 15 minutes, right? It's not just like a recent scenario with somebody who was arrested and got a public defender. Guess how long a public defender in Los Angeles spends with their average client? So let's say this person's accused of a drug deal, murder, whatever. Crimes that they can go to jail for 10, 20, 30 years.
3 minutes.
6.
6 minutes? Are you serious?
The average public defender spends 6 minutes on it.
Now, does he go to them, or do they bring the alleged or the charged person to the defender?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you like
how
in a
that works.
cafeteria line with your tray? It's like sit down next.
I think they just get the case assigned to them. They do it. They meet with them, and they go in front of the judge. But it's a short conversation. But they spend like 6 minutes in preparation for something that could cost you your life. Like you could be innocent, or let's say that even if you're not innocent, I think the one thing that we hold true as a country is that you get a fair trial, right?
For now. Just saying.
Well, that's the hope, right?
Throwing that out there.
So I think less is more. Like for me, I would rather connect with 2 or 3 customers on a deeper level and create a key thrower and have a higher average per ticket than write 20 plus ROs. I was never good past 20.
Man,
I would struggle a lot.
My number was like 35. Like when I hit
So
over
happy.
30.
I'm so happy for what is about to happen right now. Come on in, Lorraine.
Okay, sorry.
She's got the goods.
Got the good.
She's got the goods.
No, any police following you or anything? Can I have them over here?
Oh yeah, sure. Sorry.
You weren't followed?
I was not followed. Maybe for a second, but sorry.
Awesome. Thank you so
No,
much.
You're good.
We got the goods, Jeremy.
So Chris just received a bag with it's red
Yeah, a bag
for our
if you're-
listeners,
if
and
you're just
he's the noise you hear is him reaching into the bag. His right eyebrow just arched.
It's exactly what it
smile on
should
his
be.
face. Are you gonna unveil it?
No.
Are you gonna unveil this now, or is this for like later?
Well, they're illegal.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome.
It's illegal what's in this bag, Jeremy.
So should we talk about the bag, or should we talk about the question?
What's the next? Well, do you have anything to add to that?
I do. I think, with technology, oh man, I see where you're going. That I empathize with him a lot, because with more cars comes more opportunity, and obviously the rewards are obviously a larger paycheck. So I completely get that. The desire to serve is also there. So use technology to get through the process faster. I would have a pre-appointment email and a text that I sent out to every customer. I'd preload as much of the stuff as I could before they show up so I could shorten my transaction time. I'd learn to pet the dog virtually before the customer even showed up so I could cut my transaction time down. So I would say start to harness technology to shorten your transaction time per customer. And if you're smart, you could double your numbers. You could literally have a $400 to $600 average repair order instead of $265.
Thank you so much for watching this clip of Service Drive Revolution. Now you can catch the full episode on YouTube, iTunes, or Spotify, or wherever you consume your podcast. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified when we post new episodes. I'm Chris Collins, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Chris Bulldog Collins. And I'll see you again on the next episode.